Have you made your list of goals for next year yet? Welcome to McBain Moments. Alright, as always, before we get started, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the manor. Make sure you take a moment and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. So it's that time of year again, folks. We are approaching the holidays, or we're in the holidays technically, and New Year's is coming. It's time to start thinking about next year. And so it's time for you to review how the last year went and to make plans for next year. So the first question is did you set goals for 2019? And if you did set goals, did you accomplish those goals? And it's very important that you review this, because if you aren't, if you're not setting goals and you're not reviewing the goals that you set and you're not attempting to accomplish things that will make your life better, it'll never get better. You're just going to end up spinning your wheels and staying in the same place. And so look at what you set yourself up for this year, if you did it at all, and say, okay, I wanted to put siding on the house, and I wanted to get that tractor out of the yard, and I wanted to build a pole barn. And what did you accomplish? Well, I managed to build the pole barn, and I managed to move the tractor underneath it, but I forgot to side the house, or I didn't get around to siding the house. Okay, well then now you've got a good basis for next year. And I know these sound like really mundane goals, but I mean, let's face it, siding a house is a pretty expensive thing to have to do. So it's definitely a goal. And building a pole barn takes a lot of labor. And I know that from experience. Well, it wasn't a pole barn, it was a lean-to, but it still has the same functionality. So as you've got about 15 days left in the year. I think we're on the 17th now. We're on the 17th now. So we're down below 15 days left in the year. And I know this is a dad joke, but we also are down to less than 15 days in the decade. So what I want you to do, and this is my assignment for you, is to sit down and really think about what you want to accomplish in the next 365 days. I'm going to do it too. I haven't reviewed my goals yet. I've accomplished about 77% of them. I set up 9 goals. I accomplished 7 of them. Very proud that I accomplished 7. That's not a bad ratio of success. 77%. You know, you only need 33% to get in the Hall of Fame for baseball. So, you know, it sure as hell beats 0%. So, what I want you to do is I want you to think about what your next year will look like. And then once you've set that year up, post it somewhere where you have to look at it every single day. And you don't have to pick 9 goals, you can pick like 3. But you want to have enough goals where it's going to last you through the year, or you want to make the goals big enough to where you're not going to accomplish them all in January. And so like this past year, one of my goals was to get my black scarf, to become a black tiger, right? And I accomplished that, and that did get accomplished in January. I wasn't entirely sure that it was going to happen in January, but that's when it ended up happening. And so I accomplished that goal in January, and that led me to a better chance of success to other goals throughout the year. So maybe make one goal something that you know you're going to accomplish in the first month, and then have other goals that you have to span across time, which will allow you to develop over time and figure things out. So another goal that I had for this year was to attend 3 practices a month. And with the exception of those months where practices were canceled, generally due to weather, but also due to events, I accomplished going to 3 practices a month. And I included actual fencing competitions to count. Because when you have a competition, you're definitely getting practice, right? And you're practicing at the highest level. Excuse me. And so okay, so that was one of my goals, and I have achieved going to 3 practices a month every single month this year in some way, shape, or form, as long as the practices were being held. Okay, so that goal's accomplished. I didn't think to bring my list down here. It's still posted on the wall over yonder. But it doesn't matter. There were goals I did not accomplish. And it's important for me to review those goals. And the first question is, was this a worthwhile goal to pursue? And if it was a worthwhile goal to pursue, what can I do to make it so I'm more likely to accomplish it in the coming year? And so, like, one of the goals that I have is to reduce my drinking down to only 2 standard drinks per day. And I did not accomplish that. I'm down to 2 drinks per day, but when you drink out of a double shot, that's 4. And that's not great, and I understand that. And I don't. Thankfully it's not a dependence. Like, I've gone days without alcohol, and I know that I'm not, searching for it when there's none to be had. But I don't want it to develop into that. And so that's one of my goals for the coming year. And so that's again going to be repeated on my list of goals to prevent that from becoming a thing. And so review, if you did make goals in the past year, review what you accomplished, pat yourself on the back for it because you damn well deserve it. And then after that, review what you didn't accomplish and say, okay, was this a worthwhile goal? And if it was, what can I do to make it possible in the coming year? And then write it down. Write your goals down. And you only need like 3 to 5 goals, broader based goals. I mean, you can have goals for a day, but that's not gonna help you at the wider level of things. Write them down. Post them somewhere where you have to look at them every single day. And then work on them for the next 365 days. And then in 2020, around this time, we'll look at them again. And then I'm going to ask you to comment. I want you, if you did it this year, I want you to comment below how you did. And if you didn't do it this year, next year when we revisit this, I want you to do the same. This has been a McBain moment.